All right, and we are back after a very long off season as we waited for the new implementation of Set and Forget. It was a very nice summer, not having to worry about war, so the break was welcome, at least for me. But I was happy to finally get war back into play. It was somewhat bittersweet. But yeah, thoughts on Set and Forget? It's not in its final form at the moment. I think this is a good starting point, and there's a lot to improve upon. But yeah, so what I like about the defensive aspect, obviously, is that I only have to place defense once, and then I don't have to worry about it. From an officer standpoint, we never really needed this in the past, but we need some control to both place defense for our BG mates and remove defense for BG mates, specifically for those alliances with two battle groups or one battle group going instead of all three. And then we've always needed this, but now it's more evident. Some mastery build presets, kind of like BG's has. So it'd be really nice if we can set a defense preset mastery. Never have to worry about changing masteries in that now tiny window. When it comes to placing defense with the right set of masteries. Offensively, huge bonus to having the huge amount of time. In a perfect world, everyone's ready to go at the exact same time in this now almost 2-day window. But all it really turned into is, war planners, take your time, maybe get the war plan out at the usual time that war starts and, handle it stress-free. And then get everyone rolling the same way they would in a 24-hour war instead of maybe a 21-hour war. Yeah, that's about all the feedback I can give on that. I think it'll just take getting used to that to really calm down and not have a 6-day stress out of staring at the map and kind of return back to that 3-day stress out. So with that, let's go into the first defense. This war, we had Ghost, Omega Sentinel, and Warlock bans on top of the new permanent blacklist bans for Season 43, and those are Infamous Doom and Nimrod. Herc and Human Torch are both whitelisted this season. All right, so Boss Island Mantis, we've got Sunspot and Namor, Kingpin back there. Probably go with a high-rank Civil Warrior, maybe even future Ant-Man. Domino back there. I'd go at Shuri as your easiest option. Pretty much everyone else is going to have to deal with... Howard the Duck is probably going to work out too. Chavez, Quicksilver, Human Torch, Kindred. Scorpion or Shuri as well. Korg, you've got Namor, probably future Ant-Man as well. Atuma, Sunspot, Iceman, you might be able to get away with. Hulkling, you've got Wiccan, Rintraw, Tigra. 1 through 3, Zemo on the way out. You've got Magneto. You also have future Ant-Man. Path 1 thing, you've got Valkyrie. You also have Crossbones, possibly. Bishop, you've got Civil Warrior. That's really your safest bet besides quaking it. Path 2, Dragon Man, S99 or Titania. Fury, either of the Storms. Path 3, future Ant-Man. You can go with Hulkling and wait for that first armor up to fall, or even Magneto. And then Nimrod, you can go with Nebula, Hulkling. 4 through 6 on the way out. Absorbing Man. You've got Human Torch, Nova Flame, and Titania on the way in. Sauron, Civil Warrior again. Shuri, you can probably get away with as well. Path 4, the whole thing can be Mole Man, Shang-Chi, or even Fury. Path 5, the whole thing can be Titania or Human Torch. And then Path 6, you can actually take the whole thing with Shuri as well. Can even use one of the mutant, so Sunspot or Namor for Magneto House of X, and then use Fury or Mole Man for Spot. 7 through 9 on the way out, Gore, you've got Doom, and you've got Chavez. Long Shot on the way in, S99 hitting into block. Actually, no, that's not a good idea. You can go with Absorbing Man or even Human Torch with an Odin and Nova Flame. Path 7, Kate, you've got Sunspot, you've got Namor, just slap a white Magneto pre-fight there. You also have Iceman, Maw, you can get away with Doom, you can get away with Titania, you can get away with S99. Path 7, Man-Thing, Titania or S99. Nova, you've got Spidey Supreme or Doom or Absorbing Man. And then Path 9, Wong, you've got either of the Ant-Mans, Cassie or Ant-Man. And then for Kitty, you've got Howard the Duck or Shuri avoiding Special 1. Looking back at 1 through 3 on the way in Section 2, Havoc, Civil Warrior, pretty safe fight. Can even get away with Viv. Viv would have been an option as well for the Bishop on Buffet. Mangog, you've got Titania, Human Torch, Weapon X. You can try Ultron. You also have Future Ant-Man. 1 through 3 in Section 1 on the way out. Rintrah, you've got Titania and S99. Just watch the power gain. Path 1, Killmonger, easiest is probably Cosmic Ghost Rider. You can also use Omega Red. Path 2, Wiccan, Titania or S99, and then Namor, Sunspot for Elsa. And then Path 3, Venom, you've got Gallon or Hulkling. 4 through 6 on the way out, Storm, you've got Howard the Duck, and you've got Shuri, or not Shuri, you've got Future Ant-Man. Path 4, Human Torch or Titania for Spidey Supreme. Path 5, JJ, your best bet all the way is Valkyrie. And then Mole Man, you can also use Valkyrie, or you can go with Sunspot and Namor, or Iceman, and just slap on a white Magneto pre-fight. Path 6, Tigra, Titania, S99, Quicksilver. 7 through 9 on the way out, Adam, you can get away with Absorbing Man, can probably get away with Claire as well in the poison phase the whole time. Path 7, Jabari, Panther. Namor is your quote-unquote safest. You can probably get away with Apocalypse as well. And then for Mephisto, Human Torch or Blade. Path 8, Annihilus. You've got Absorbing Man. You've got Doom. You've got plenty of options there. And then Path 9, you can take the whole thing with Absorbing Man. You can use Shang-Chi or JP for Void. And then for Magneto, you could go with no, not Future Ant-Man. Man, that's a thinker. Not Rolk. Oh, Sunspot. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably just Sunspot. Trying to think of another, probably Kitty Pryde as well. So that does it for defense. Let's take a look at attack. All right, so War 1 is against Salty. Today I'll be taking in Namor, Shang-Chi, and Human Torch. I've got Path 7 in Section 1, Path 4 in Section 2, and then a mini-boss on Boss Island. So working off the rust the same way I was in that defense video. Starting here with Namor. Now, I almost died to this fight because of the failed dext and a bad actual attempt at dexing and then eating a bunch of bleeds when I used Namor here when he wasn't tactic. Now he is tactic. However, the champions that don't hold on to an indefinite armor up are at an extreme disadvantage, especially against these skill champs that just shrug stuff. So yeah, White Magneto pre-fight could technically help here. However, JP shrugs that first stun regardless. So it kind of wouldn't make a difference. It would game plan the same way, which my plan going into this was to parry twice heavy just for the start to get the first armor up so that I got some kind of control in the prowess for the start of the fight. And then from then on, I figured I was going to be fighting enough and getting hit enough into my block that I could maintain an armor up through spamming special ones as long as Jabari Panther plays ball and actually throws special attacks. So the start going well so far. I got that first armor up. We're leading into our first special one. I do, however, full combo into the special one. So there might be some advantage to just immediately throwing the special one instead of doing a combo. It's going to be based off of where her power is. So here she's almost at 2 bars of power. This is probably where I should just make sure to get it out. However, she was in the hunt and I was worried about Dex failing. So I'm just waiting it out. Now it's over and I went and was a little too aggressive here. No armor up, and there's that 2 prowess. And you're going to see here she turtles just enough to let it push her to the special 3. And I think after the hunt there, I should have just gotten that special 2 out. Of course, AI perfect Dex back into a parry. We eat a special 3. Luckily, this isn't putting her into the hunt. Otherwise, we would have been stunned coming out of here. So I was a bit nervous. And actually, at some point, we triggered Imperious Rex. So luckily, we just go right into the special 3. And then right into a special 2. And here, because of all the special attacks, or sorry, special 2, special 1, get stunned there because she goes into the hunt. So kind of a crazy, rusty, maybe don't want to do that again fight. We move on. Mephisto here, Human Torch. We've got Nova Flame. This is a very easy fight, even though it is a rank 3 against a rank 5. I mean, there's nothing to this fight. It's just parry medium, light medium. When he's at special 1, I'm going to bait it out. When he decides to throw it, I am just going to try and block the whole thing if I can, instead of triggering a Dex and building these smolders from all of the blocked hits and the energy damage. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of a joke fight here for Human Torch. So Mephisto not really benefiting from the node and not preventing Human Torch in any way. So, boom. Makes it easy. Yay, Human Torch for 1 fight. So, we move on from there. We go to our Shang-Chi fights. All of Path 4 here, we're using Shang-Chi. I actually decided to go with a different strategy here with spam. Instead of building to that special 2, having a slow up, cleansing, debuffs, so that I don't have poppers before throwing the special 2. My game plan here was actually to do the cleanse Wushu, get to special 1, use special 1, and just hold on to cleanse charges and always throw special 1 when I have it, so that he never builds enough nonsense to go into evade. So there we eat a heavy. That's a little bit of a rust slash spam being spam. There's a chunk of health off already with us getting those cleanse charges and throwing special 1. Decide to reset here. Seemed like a good opportunity. He's got special 1, however. So here I should have thrown special 1. I shouldn't have held on to this. That gave him a few more nonsense charges than I would have liked. It's fine. He's not in the realm of evading yet, but I do place a slow because of it. Now here, since I have thrown the slow, I need to make sure to throw the cleanse before throwing the special 1. Otherwise, I'll get a bonus slow instead from the special 1. And we do just that. Back into a stun. Just decide to throw the slow again because of nonsense. It already dropped down a little bit to begin with. And we're pretty much closing out the fight. So this felt a little bit more comfortable slash safe. Of course, it's always up to whether the AI actually throws special attacks. But having those cleanse charges really helps if he happens to get pushed to special 2. And then Dani here. Dani, unless you're actually eating special attacks, there's not a 3rd debuff on this node. So the only real thing you have to pay attention to, especially since I decided to use Shang-Chi here, is that we can't actually rely on blocked hits for Wushu. When she does get that illusion passive, she's going to be able to cause miss. And we don't, right there, that blue one. And we don't want to hit into that block and actually trigger miss and then eat a special attack. So it's just being mindful of that there, knocking her down when she has it so she loses it, and then just don't get hit in the face. So that's all the fight was. I kind of danced around whatever wushu I wanted. I had no rhyme or reason for which ones I used and which ones I didn't. And the AI has been getting me there. We'll call it rust. But the AI has been a bit more clever lately. If you're not getting out of range quickly, that second attack, they just swing and hope for something to land. And every so often, they're close enough to somehow reach out their hitbox. Anyways, yeah, this is about it. Didn't focus on any specific wushu. Just built some as I got to special 2. Honestly, could have depleted all 4 and just tried not to ever push her to special 2. Not that it would do a lot of damage or give me a debuff. I just didn't want to deal with dexing and getting hit by all that stuff. So this is the fight. Pretty safe fight. See, here we are with an unblockable on top of an unblockable. So I meant what I said when I said I was just playing with different wushus here. She is almost down. I don't recall if I think it's the first hit of a special attack. There's her illusion. I never hit into block during this fight just because that exists. Can't make the mistake if you're not doing it. And then I think, yeah, there we go. That finished her. So, done with Shang-Chi's war. And then my last fight is Korg here on 48. We have a White Magneto pre-fight. My logic here was to get an armor up early, get past special 1, and then from there hold on to special 3 until we got close to 30 charges and IRX naturally. And at that point, we would have to start worrying about MIA. So here, the only time Korg would actually trigger missing in action, which is the falter, is when I pass 1 bar of power. And then once I hold special 3, he's never going to get a buff again unless I somehow trigger Dex. And that makes it safe that we won't have to worry about MIA for the rest of the fight. However, because of Namor's ability, Imperious Rex, eventually we're going to start losing our power and then go down to 0, and then we'll have to, again, worry about MIA. So my thinking here was that I would just keep armor ups active as often as I could with heavy attacks. I'd combo naturally to special 3. I'd kind of sit at special 3. I'd get Korg's power really low, or at least as low as I could. And there I just didn't bother getting the special 1 out. Decided let's go into the short Imperious Rex where I trigger it instead of letting it hit 30 charges. Throw the special 3. Come out of this, throw the special 2. If he's stunned, heavy charge again, throw the special 2. And so on, so on. So he didn't get stunned there. I didn't risk it. Decide parry heavy into the special 2, but rock stacks are back. And then here I'm just going to go ahead and straight combo. And we're going to repeat that whole process. So there are only a couple moments in this fight where I just kind of fail at dexing, or I'm just not quicker than Korg and he slaps me while I'm kind of sleeping. But yeah, pretty simple fight. If you wanted to make it go faster, and if I had a fight after this Korg, I would have fully mutant boosted, and we would have just done specialties for days. We would have triggered IREX at 30 after already doing a special 3 and double special 3 and just special 2 cycle it until he's gone. Yeah, this is a fight. There's the missing in action as we cross the bar. Failed that special 1. I think that's the only one. Missed the block there. Now we're against the wall. Got to try to avoid dexing because his charges are really high. And just kind of made this fight a little bit longer than I would have liked. He does his magical whiff. And then we just eat another special 1 because it was unblockable. And And we finished the fight there. So pretty safe fight, to be honest, from what it opposed to what it looked like. Our battle group did not have a good first showing. We died 5 times to their 2, and that kind of hurts because we lost this war on time due to tie. So yeah, there was only 1 death outside of our BG. So pretty unfortunate. First wars are always kind of funky, especially with a new system. Our tactic is harder, so a little bit harder. So tactic attackers become more important. So that's just working the rust off. Not too bad against the pretty good alliance, or a really good alliance. So kind of bittersweet, just like the start of the season. But hope you guys enjoyed the war video. Happy to be back. Hit subscribe, give it a like. I will catch you guys at the next war.